Hi, I'm Richie Blake, Managing Director of Döhle Yachts. We at Döhle Yachts are super proud to be partnered with Ocean Sheroes, an all-female team rowing in the Great Pacific Race in May. Unfortunately, one of the team members, Lily, is unavailable today, but Mary, Bella, P, would you mind introducing yourselves?
Hello, my name's Mary. I'm the skipper of Fenris, the Ocean Sheroes boat that's going across the Pacific in May 2021.
So my day-to-day, I'm a marketing manager at a company called FlexiHex, which is a startup in Cornwall. I came into ocean rowing because it's a bit of a family thing. My uncle and my brother both rowed oceans before. My uncle actually built the boat that we will be rowing across in. I have previously rowed the Atlantic in 2015 and 16 with the team Row Like a Girl, and I couldn't resist another ocean, so here I am doing it with the Ocean Sheroes.
My name is Purusha Gordon, I'm known as P, and I'm going to be rowing across the Pacific from San Francisco to Hawaii.
That's great, thank you. Could you tell me, how did you all meet?
I met the team rather convoluted way, but the team came together because I met Charlie Pitcher, the founder of Rannoch Adventure, who built the boat that we're crossing the Pacific in, and I met him in 2018 at the finish line of the Talisker race, which takes part across the Atlantic. And Charlie, I was so inspired by his own journey and what he had put together in terms of opening up the world of ocean rowing, that I felt like it was an adventure that I wanted to take part in. And so I was introduced by Bella's brother, Angus, who's also part of Rannoch Adventure. He introduced me to Bella and Mary, who are also looking at crossing the Pacific. And they then knew Lily from growing up in Burnham, and that's how we all came together as a team.
So Bella and Lily I've known for a very long time. I've known Lily since she was probably around, I'd say 10 years now. God, it makes me feel old. And Bella I've definitely known for a long time on and off through the Royal Burnham Yacht Club. So myself and Bella were asked if we wanted to form a team to look at the Pacific. And unfortunately that team didn't work out. And then we were approached by Charlie and met P, and we sort of had a chat and a sit down and discovered that actually we were very different characters, but we came along in the same sort of thought process and the same kind of values. So we realised there was a potential team there. Unfortunately, one of the team members that was with us decided she wasn't ready for the row. And then we had a little think, and Lily Lower popped into our heads, and of course it was a natural choice.
So it sounds like one hell of a challenge. What does the race actually entail?
So this challenge is rowing from San Francisco to Hawaii. It's a distance of 2,400 nautical miles, which is the equivalent of if you were to walk in a straight line from London to UAE. That gives you an idea of the distance that we're going to be rowing. We expect that this expedition will take us around 50 days, and we are hoping that we will challenge the world record, which is currently 50 days.
That sounds amazing, and certainly not for the faint-hearted. So why are each of you undertaking such an awesome challenge?
The thrill and the adventure, why not? It's just one of those things that you really do shut yourself away from all the kind of worries that you do have on land and general life, and you throw yourself at the elements, and your main role is to travel at the best speed you can in the safest way possible, and you get experiences along the way that are simply mind-blowing.
Being a mum is one of the hardest jobs, and I felt debilitated when I became a mum. I lost my confidence because it's one of the hardest things that you ever do, but there's nobody to teach you how to do it. And you have another human being that you're responsible for, but you don't really know what they want because they can't talk to you or tell you. And I see this with other mums who become parents for the first time. They feel like they lose their way, they don't have a career anymore, and they lose their confidence. And so for me, taking on this challenge is about saying to other mums out there that whatever it is that you want to achieve in life, it's about digging deep, it's about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. It's about finding courage, and it's about being brave, and it's about saying yes.
For me, rowing an ocean isn't for everybody. Like, I know that it's not for everybody, but I hope by us rowing an ocean, we can show other people, and not just women, everybody, that the hardest bit is saying yes, and then you know, everything else just flows afterwards. And I hope that we can show that no matter where you come from or what you're doing in life, whether you have a job, whether you've got a mum, whether you're not doing anything, just say yes, and you'll surprise yourself at how much you can achieve and do. And I really hope that we can show other people that.
Once the race gets underway, obviously you're all confined to the boat together. Could you tell me a little bit about what life is like on the boat?
So when we're rowing for 2 hours and then we're off for 2 hours, the shift's off. You're doing multiple things across the way. So you'll be sleeping most of the time, trying to get in every ounce you can get. But otherwise you're making food. We'll probably once every 3 days, we'll jump in the ocean and clean the bottom of the boat, which you have to do to get the barnacles off to keep her going as fast as possible. And that really makes a big difference. When you're only going 3 knots, if you can go 3.2 knots by cleaning off the barnacles, that adds a lot, you know, a lot of speed to your boat. We'll be cleaning the decks of the boat. We will be doing navigation, writing blogs, sending back emails, checking our VHF or our AIS to see if there are any ships around. So there's a lot to think about when you're in your off shift.
So, as if all that isn't challenge enough, you've also set out to raise awareness of the Seabin Project. Could you tell me exactly what the Seabins are?
The Seabin Project is based in Australia, but they're a global organisation. And what I love about the Seabin Project is they are collecting waste from ports. They're stopping getting it out, you know, from being released into the ocean in the first place. But they also research, you know, where is that waste coming from? Looking into it, trying to educate the people to stop putting waste into the oceans in the first place. And actually their motto is for them not to exist. The Seabins don't want to exist, and I love that about them. So, you know, I'm really hoping that we can raise that 60k and help them as much as possible to, you know, prevent plastic ending up in our oceans.
This was an opportunity to support a charity called the Seabin Foundation. They put giant wheelie bins essentially in ports and marinas, and they collect ocean waste. And it was a real opportunity to support the work that they do, not only with the bins, but also the re-education of communities around the globe. And it was an opportunity to say to my children, the planet where we live, planet Earth, is a gift to all of us. It is our home, it is a place where we live. And we are custodians of this planet. We have to take care and we have to preserve it for future generations. And if we don't do something about that now, and if we don't all take responsibility for it, then we will be living in a very different world in 20 years' time.
Well, it just remains me to say thank you very much for your time today. You're truly awe-inspiring, and I wish you the best of luck during the race. I really look forward to watching your progress.
We look forward to hopefully having a little chat with you when we are mid-ocean at some point in the summer. So thank you for all of your support and for really championing the Ocean Sheroes team.